What's good, everybody? If you're trying to learn how to cop sneakers for retail, this is the video for you. Now, I'm not going to try and sell you any type of course or really sell you anything at all. This right here is my entire personal collection with around 90 pairs. Now, there are some missing, but as you can see, I do have some heat in here, like some Amani Manir 4s, Off-White 1s, Travis Scott 4s, Babestas, SB Dunks, literally anything you could think of is probably in this case. Now, I'm not saying all that to brag. I'm just saying that I've probably paid resale for about 3 to 4 of these pairs. I used to be a reseller that started from literally nothing, and there was just so many tips that I could have used along the way and that there was nobody to give it to. So in this series called Reseller Gone Rogue, I could really care less about being a greedy reseller and profiting off of these shoes. Instead, I want to help somebody else. So if somebody else is struggling to cop just a cool pair of sneakers, this is the video for you. So my name is For The Toe, and I'm going to be giving you 4 ways on how to cop your sneakers for retail. So with that being said, let's get into the video. All right, so the first step that I have for you guys is trying to figure out what is going to be the primary method of how you're going to cop these sneakers. Now, I think that there are 2 primary methods. A, you have the online method, or B, you have the in-store method. Now, as both of their names seem, they're pretty self-explanatory. Now, as a reseller, I started off with the online method, and honestly, I only recommend the online method if you plan on reselling and you want these sneakers for retail so you can maximize your profit. Now, if you're looking just for a cool little personal, I would better be off with the in-store method, but please pay attention to the online because there are definitely some pros and cons. And you might be thinking, well, what if I just had a bot? I can literally get anything that I want. Well, I had a bot when I was young, and now when I first started, my mom literally made me write a business plan so she can front me $500 so I can buy the bot. And that was the goal. I thought that was the key to all of my problems. Just buy the bot, and I was going to have everything I wanted. Well, I got that $500. I bought the bot. And to this day, I have never copped a single sneaker off of a bot. And I'll tell you why. One, it is expensive. Not only was $500 just to buy me a cheap bot, and that was in 2015. In 2024, you're going to be looking around $2,000 for a cheap bot, and nobody really wants to pay that. On top of the fact that you're going to have to buy things called proxies, which you have to use on every single release, which can add up, which just takes away from either your profit or basically just you're paying resale at that point if you're looking just for a personal. And you're going to have to be buying servers. It's just a whole lot that goes into it. And honestly, it's not worth it unless you're planning to cop 20, 50, 100 pairs. And I don't think that's everybody's goal. And right now in this economy, that's not really the smart thing to do. Now, I won't say just neglect everything online because you can still try manually online just by going on the website at the right times. A lot of these websites gives you alerts right before they go into the queue. So just get in that queue early, have multiple tabs, and have your friends and family work out for you. There's really not too much to give you advice on for manual because it's really just your internet speed and if the sneaker gods are messing with you or not. But my primary method is the in-store method. And honestly, I still use it to this day. And that's how I got literally majority of all of my shoes. Now, obviously the in-store method, again, is self-explanatory. You're going to be going into these stores. We have a list of stores that can help. We have Shoe Palace, which they do in-store raffles every Tuesday. So if the shoe comes out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, etc., they're going to have that raffle on Tuesday. It's in store and it's only going to be in Tuesday. They will not budge if you come in Monday, Wednesday, they do not care. But again, Shoe Palace, I think they're very generous on their raffles and you're not limited to one store. So if you, for example, go into one in one city and you go into another city, you have the possibility of winning at both stores, obviously increasing your chances. Next, we have the FLX stores, Champs, Foot Locker, Kids Foot Locker, etc. All of these stores have in-store reservations. And honestly, I get a lot of my pairs. And if you use the method correctly, it can go a long way. And that's going to be my second step. But we have a lot more stores to cover. For example, Finish Line/JD. They also do a lot of chances to get your shoes. They have an in-store where you can basically, it's the same as the reservation. As long as you have some points, where all you have to do is accumulate them by shopping in store. You can use them to basically reserve your pair and then you just pick it up on release day. Then they have the online release, which is just your everyday, just 9 a.m. get on the website and try your hardest. And then they also have another one where you can use their points again, where they'll ship it to you instead of you picking up to your store. So they're giving you about 3 to 4 chances every release just on Finish Line and JD alone. Next, going down the list, we have the DTLRs, Jimmy Jazz, and Hibbets. Now, if I remember, yeah, DTLR, Hibbet, they both have apps. Now, their apps are very easy to use. All you got to do is just click the shoe that you want, put in a raffle ticket, and you're good to go. And honestly, those have very good success rate. Honestly, I use those when I'm just trying to get a whole bunch of pairs because I know for a fact I'm going to hit on those. And you don't need to spend any type of money to use it for the DTLRs, the Hibbets, or the Jimmy Jazz. So those are pretty much free games. And honestly, all the other stores are kind of going to be location based. I think all the stores that I named right now are fairly in everybody's area. So, and if you have any other stores that you have in your area that you need some help on, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll be able to help. But I'm in Dallas, Texas, and those are the main ones for me. I know there are other stores like City Gear and stuff like that, WSS. So there are definitely a lot of stores out there. But we're going to move on to my second. All right, so my second tip for you guys is please download those FLX apps. And if you aren't familiar with that, that's Foot Locker, Champs, and Kids Foot Locker. They each have their own respective app. Now, for the people that think that's really common knowledge, there's a lot of people in my comment section who don't really know about it. But if you are experienced and you already know about it, please stay tuned because I know the algorithm in and out. And I also have a method that's going to help you multiply your points and boost your account to a top tier status that basically almost guarantees your reservations. Now, if you didn't know what any of that meant, I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. So on each app is going to have the newest release. So for example, the day of I'm recording, I think the next release is the All Gray 14s. Now, when you go on the app, you're going to see the All Gray 14s and it's going to say in-store reservation. You click on it and it's going to have a screen where it's asking you to put in these head starts. But in order to get these head starts, which you can have a maximum of 5, and that will put you on the same level as somebody like me, you're going to have to use points. Well, how do you get these points? $1 in store equals X amount of points. And it doesn't matter where you shop. You can shop at Champs, you can shop at Foot Locker, and you can shop at Kids Foot Locker. All of your points will be accumulated on your one account. Now, what I love about the FLX accounts is even though you share all of these points and you share this account, you can win at each store and not be penalized. So if I win at Foot Locker and I win at Champs and I win at Kids Foot Locker, I can pick up at all 3 stores without anybody tripping over me, right? I love it. Now, once you get to a point where you have so many points, you can start making different accounts. So instead of having 3 chances, you can make another account and then have 6 chances and so forth and so forth. So that's why I love the FLX points so much because it's just so easy and it just gives you the most amount of chances. Now, you might be thinking, bro, I only have enough money for 1 pair of shoes. I can't be just spending all of this money to get these points and get these head starts. Well, this is the method that I was talking about that's going to basically multiply your points and you can really just use the same amount of money over and over again. So I learned this when I was working at Champs. There would be a couple of people and they didn't even look like resellers and they didn't buy anything hype. They would literally try and find our discounted shoes. So I remember this vividly. It was these 2 guys and they would go to our Ultra Boost and we had our Ultra Boost on sale for about $70 and they would want about 10 to 15 pairs every time they saw something on sale. And it came to a point where I said, bro, I just got to ask them, what's up? Why are y'all buying this? There's no way y'all are reselling it. There's no way that somebody wants those trash Ultra Boosts. They're literally old. And they're like, bro, we're just using them to resell and get our points. And I said, you're not making profit off of it. He said, look, bro, y'all are selling them for $60 and they're going for sale on a StockX for $70. I said, bro, that's like $10 and that's probably like $1 after fees and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, profit isn't our main point. We just want to get a lot of points. And once we're getting our money back, we're just reusing that same amount of money. So essentially, say they have $200 and they're going to go ahead and buy $200 worth of Ultra Boost. They're going to immediately sell it on StockX. They're going to replenish all of their accounts with a whole bunch of points because they're buying all of these Ultra Boosts. And then they're instantly getting their money back from StockX. And so they're just reusing that same $200. However, on the other side, they're getting all of these points just by using that same $200. So that's a method that you can use. Now, again, please be smart with your money. Just be mindful that You're gonna have to buy it and then you're gonna have to sell it on StockX. So it will take time. So just if there's a release coming out and you're really tight on cash, just don't do it, just so you can have enough time to get your money back. So that is one of the main methods. Now I'm going to talk about the algorithm because I think this is very key. Now, when they first introduced the FLX program, honestly, it was whoever had the most points, you were guaranteed to get your releases. So back then, if you had 1,000,000 points, you were getting the release. And I would be very jealous and envious of people who had these 1,000,000 points accounts until I got my 1,000,000 point account and then I saw it. There wasn't one release that I missed, and it was super limited stuff. I'm talking about white Oreos, Hyper Royals, Air Jordan 1 UNCs. As long as you had 1,000,000 in that account, you were getting it. Well, over time, we're in a weird age of sneakers and resale to the point where all of these major brands, they want everybody to be involved. So they changed the algorithm. So all of these heavy hitting accounts with all of the resellers like me, because it's easy for me to accumulate 1,000,000 points because that's literally my job. I'm going to be reselling these shoes. That's my point. I'm going to buy 5, 10 Jordan 4s. I'm going to get all my money back, get my personal, have all these points, and then just do it again for the next release. Everybody can't do that, and they realize that. So then they changed the algorithm to benefit new users. And what I've noticed is that once you get to around 100,000 to I say 300,000, you're honestly good to go. And that's when I would start making a new account with a new name so you can go to these other stores and just literally multiply your chances of getting all of these shoes. So I really do hope that that tip helped. And we're going to be moving on to tip number 3. All right, so if you're wondering why I'm in a whole different outfit, it's because when I was editing, tips number 3 and 4 did not have any audio in them. So I really wanted to get this video out to you guys. I really want to help you guys, help the community, try and get sneakers for retail. That's just my job. And if you like these type of videos, if you want me to give you a part 2 or any other type of advice on sneakers, clothing brand, or my YouTube journey, please let me know in the comment section below. But with that being said, we can get straight into tip number 3. And this one is honestly my favorite. Tip number 3 is make connections. Connections really go a long way. And what I did, I started out, I was a kid when I first started doing this and I didn't really have the intention of it. But over time, I kind of realized what I was doing. So back in the day, as a 14, 15-year-old kid, you always go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? That's what the hangout spot is. You and your friends, you go to the mall every weekend with probably like $20 to your name that your mom gave you, right? And you're not spending nothing. And you just in the mall all day, every day until you go home. Well, while I was in these malls doing nothing, I would always go by the Foot Lockers, the Champs, the Shoe Palaces and things of that nature. And I would just end up talking to the employees. I would just be giving them like genuine face conversations. And over time, as I came in every other weekend, they started to notice my face. They started to just, reach out to me first, say, hey, what's up to me, instead of just ask me like, what I need for shoes. Now, obviously, I didn't have any money, so these conversations were just really just friendly and really didn't elevate to anything else. Now, fast forward to maybe a year or 2 later when I started getting some money and then I first got, I was able to afford starting my collection and starting reselling. I was still talking to these same people and they already recognized me. So when the time came, and actually, I'll tell you specifically, one of my first like big purchases from them was the Bred 4s, the 2019 pair. This one actually. So there's this pair right here alongside 4 other pairs. The lady, she gave me, she always saw me come in. We would always talk. We had exchanged info. And when time came, when I started reselling, she gave me 5 pairs for retail. I didn't have to pay her anything. She was just rocking with me just because I made genuine connections. So that literally goes a long way. Even working at Champs, I worked at Champs before, and I'll tell you this right now. If you just come in and you just tell us or just say something bold like, hey, I need these shoes coming out this weekend. What can you do for me? Hey, I got $100 on top, or, whatever. Just coming in at us like super bold. We're just going to give you like a protocol answer like, hey, fill out the reservations, do this, do that, and we're really not going to give you the time of the day. Now, we had regulars and they weren't even regulars. It was really just people, we did have regulars where they would come in, once or twice a week or maybe more than that. And they would just have genuine conversation. They would talk to us, say what's up, ask us about future releases. You have a conversation, like a meaningful, you can really tell when someone's BSing and like, actually trying to talk to you. So it would be people like that. There were people that would buy us lunch. you know, not even asking, you know what I mean? Or just come in and checking on us. Hey, bro, I ain't getting no shoes in today. Had to take my daughter to get a visit or something and just wanted to check in. Bro, that goes a long way because I promise you, those same people, anything that we had in the back from returns or any new information that we had, anything came in from shipments, they were first dibs. You feel me? So, you know, and I feel like my Champ store specifically, we weren't really doing backdoor stuff like that. But you know, every store at the end of the day has their dirty work, innocent or not. And the people that just treated us like human beings instead of just another way to get some shoes, they were the people that got blessed. So that is a good way to make connections. Just literally just show your face, talk to them, you know, try to get to know them on a first name basis. I think that will literally, I don't think I know from a reseller standpoint and a retailer standpoint. You know, I'm on both sides. I literally know how it goes. So definitely follow those tips. And your connections don't even have to stay strictly to retail employees. You can make connections to resellers because there's a lot of times where resellers, they'll buy a bunch of shoes or they'll buy a certain shoe and they think that it's a good investment. It turns out not to be. And, you know, if you just become friends with them and then they have, you know, X amount of pairs of this shoe that you really want, all you gotta do is really ask at that point. Once you have made that connection, be friends with them and they'll be like, bro, I'm just trying to get my money back for real. Here, you can have it for retail. Boom. That literally happens on a day-to-day basis. You just have to literally put yourself out there, engage in the community. The sneaker community is very big. I will say that there are people in the community that make it hard to get into or just, you know, are gatekeepers. It happens. It's in every community. But once you find the right people that rock with you and are on the same page as you, I promise you, it alleviates a lot of pain and stress when it comes to copying these sneakers. So definitely make those connections, bro. I think that's probably the most important tip on here. So we're gonna go into step number 4, or tip number 4, whatever you would call it. I'm just trying to help y'all out, man. It don't even matter what we call it. All right, so the fourth and final tip, and I think this is also important, and this is one that I wouldn't say get on my nerves, but it definitely agitates me when people come and text me or DM me about these shoes, and they'll be wondering like why they miss out. Bro, duh, you missed out. You didn't even know the release date, bro. So my fourth tip is be aware of the dates surrounding these shoes because there's a lot of importance to it. So, for example, say the Bread 4s, they come out July 21st, right? That week prior, you need to know what days and what stores are doing their in-store raffles, their online raffles, and leftovers. If you're not familiar with leftovers, leftovers is usually a term that we use when, for example, like when the FLX apps, they have their reservations, you have until 5 p.m. to pick up your shoes. Now, anything after 5 p.m. is honestly free game. Like it's literally free game. You know, they put it out and they sell it until everything is done. And after that is done. Now, you can cop a lot of stuff over leftovers. And I've caught most of my stuff from leftovers when I was just reselling. I don't really think, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I prioritize my size if it's something that I really want. So I never really wait till leftovers. But if I was using it to get, you know, extra pairs to sell, bro, I've gotten plenty, and I mean plenty. And it doesn't even matter how limited the release is because you never know somebody else's circumstance. You know, somebody could just not be able to make it, not have a ride. They put too many the same names at the same store, and the employee, they'll nullify it, so you won't be able to get that pair. You know, it's so many. And I'll give y'all a real life example. When the reverse Grinches came out, I had won an 8.5 on the apps. Well, I didn't know because beforehand, like after COVID, they gave you all day to pick up. Well, I wasn't like there was like a real time frame where I wasn't really picking up shoes because I was getting them early, or I just didn't need to get my pairs at Foot Locker and things of that. So I was literally I didn't know, right? I didn't know the cutoff time, and so I come in at 7 o'clock asking, "Hey, can y'all go ahead and get my pair from the back? I got the reservation." All the employees looking at me dumb, like, bro, you had till 5, then sold that pair. So if you know what I'm saying, the person watching this video, if you knew about that, if you knew that Foot Locker does leftovers at 5 p.m. on the release date, then you would have had an 8.5 in the reverse Grinches because I was a goofball and I forfeited my pair. So things like that, just literally knowing you got to do your research. These shoes are expensive. Whether you're doing it to resell, whether you're doing it to cop for retail, either these shoes are going to be limited or they're going to be, what I'm saying, have high resale value. And that's the reason why you can't cop them for retail, because it's hard to get. So you got to put some type of groundwork in. And that's literally the bare minimum, literally just doing the research. Now, another thing that you guys can do is, and this can also tie in with tip number 3 when making connections, go in these stores and start asking them, like, and don't don't be an op about it. Like, what I'm saying? Don't sound like the police when you asking this, but just ask them like, hey, like when your shipment days in, like when the new come in, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, especially when we was in a resale era where lows and mids were hidden just like that, you know what I'm saying? The shipment days were so critical because a lot of the resellers, they would come in, they knew our days, they knew our times, and they would be the first person to, what I'm saying, get the patch, get the good sizes, and again, that's how one of this, I'm not gonna say his name, but he blessed me with $100 because all I did was tell him, bro, our shipment days are Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we usually open everything by the time we open. If you just come in and open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you should be straight. Gave me a cool 100. And you know what I did after bro gave me a cool 100? I said, hey, lock my your phone. I got you. And so he blessed me, I blessed him. It's all about connection. So see how all of this ties together. So make sure you go into your stores, ask them about, the shipment days, bro. The shipment days are crucial. Ask them, and every store doesn't really, because I'm gonna lie to you, all of these managers, they're sketchy, bro. All like being on the inside of Foot Locker and Champs and Shoe Palace, because I worked at Champs and Shoe Palace. So I know everything, bro. I know everything. Trust. And they are some sketchy and shady managers, and they make their own rules. So literally, you got to go to every store and you got to talk to them. You got to figure out their rules. You know what I'm saying? Their procedures, because every person don't do it the same. Even though they're supposed to, everybody not gonna do it. And it's not all fair in the shoe game, man. A lot of people get greedy with this money, and that's why y'all can get your shoes for retail. Well, I want to say y'all, but just us as a collective. I don't want to single y'all out because there's some times where I don't get shoes for retail, but I got a vast majority. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with my percentage. You feel me? So let me know if these tips helped out, man. I really do enjoy putting y'all on game, helping the community. Just being on both sides, the reseller side and the retailer side, and just maturing as a person, just seeing everything from a bird's eye view. It gets real wicked out here, but with my IQ, I just want to help y'all. So if y'all like this, please let me know what y'all like about it, what y'all didn't like, what y'all want me to add, what else y'all want me to talk about. I'll make, literally, if y'all comment a video idea, I'll literally make it. Simple as that. I'm just trying to help y'all out, So with that being said, I'll see y'all next video. And I hope this got audio because I ain't doing it again. Peace.